It's a very snowy Saturday, the 27th of November 2010. We got the kit back from Extreme. This morning we're going to do some sorting out of the actual bodywork of the Peugeot. We've got the cut lines marked on the rear quarter panels here. This is where we're going to be making the cuts up the rear quarter, after we've taken the rear screen out, of course. We've taken the Peugeot rear suspension subframe off. We had that on last Saturday, and we used that to line up the centre line of the rear hub, so when we come to put the Lotus rear chassis in, we can get it absolutely spot on the arch. It's a critical measurement for us, because when we put the rear quarter panels on of the Extreme kit, we need to make sure that the Lotus chassis, the rear wheel centres, are absolutely aligned with the rear quarter panel. If we didn't make that measurement last weekend, it would be very difficult when we make the cut, when we actually come to fit the chassis underneath, to make sure we get it right. We're going to be fitting the Lotus chassis under the Peugeot coupe before we actually put the Extreme kit on, so that's the reason why we're making these measurements. Same goes for the front of the car. Here we've got the centre lines marked out on the front arms here of the, well, where the front wing mounts are on the Peugeot. Again, this is going to be the centre line of the front of the chassis. The Lotus chassis is currently split into two halves. There's the front there, and the back's just underneath, underneath the car. We're going to be having some special adapter plates made. You can see there's the Lotus chassis that's sat up inside the body of the Peugeot. As you can see, the top of the transmission tunnel of the Peugeot has been cleaned out, cut off, and that's to allow access for the Lotus chassis. Now you can see the clearance for the chassis in the back. Dad's just put some strengthening steel in at the moment. These are these two bars here, this bar and that bar there, and those are to keep the body rigid when we make the cuts, just to make sure that the actual body doesn't move around. We can keep everything accurate. Dad's made two cuts here in the rear. This is a clearance for the Lotus suspension struts. There's one, there's the other. The cuts have been made. These are just the first cuts of many, but as you can see, the Lotus chassis fits in absolutely perfectly, snug as a bug in a rug. We made the clearance down these sides here to allow the chassis to fit in. You can see how close we've managed to be able to get the fitment, to try and keep strength within the actual Peugeot body before we clove it with the Extreme kit.